Hello, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM, where we're in the middle of a night of film starring a surprisingly unheralded actress. Though on the other hand, it's not so surprising. I will explain. The actress is Zita Johann, a big star on Broadway in the mid to late 1920s, who came to Hollywood at the end of the decade with some fanfare. Our next film is her best known, from Universal in 1932. Johann and Boris Karloff star in The Mummy. MGM enticed Johann to leave New York and come to Hollywood. At the time, her husband was a man named John Houseman. Most of you know Houseman as a late-in-life actor who starred in the movie The Paper Chase and the subsequent television adaptation. But on Black Tuesday, October 29, 1929, Houseman was a grain dealer who lost everything when the market crashed. Losing his business forced Houseman to start working at his passion, which happened to be the theater. He eventually became one of the most influential theatrical producers of the 20th century, though his marriage to Johann was over by 1934. All right, back to Zita Johann. That MGM deal produced exactly 0 movies. The studio wanted her badly enough to give her script approval. She then refused every script they sent her. That peculiar circumstance gave rise to the press referring to Johann as Hollywood's latest enigma. She basically remained an enigma for the duration of her time as an actress in Hollywood, a career that lasted just 3 years, 1931 to 1934. During that time, she made only 7 movies. Then she thought it was time to say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, my baby. She returned to New York and her first love, the theater. She also taught, did considerable charitable work, and wrote screenplays. After her death at 89 in 1993, an obituary in The Independent described Johann as, quote, a self-confessed mystic who claimed to levitate. The paper then quotes her from late in her life, distilling why she preferred the stage to the movies. To me, the theater was related to the spirit, she said. Before every performance, I sat alone in my dressing room, said my prayers, died unto myself, and became my character. Of the movies, she said, the moguls created stars and sold them to the public the way a grocer sold a 39-cent can of tomatoes to his shoppers. In The Mummy, Johann plays a woman who the mummy, that's Karloff, of course, believes is the reincarnation of his long-dead love. From 1932, directed by one of the top cinematographers of the 1920s and 30s, Karl Freund, The Mummy. Zita Johann did not enjoy working with director Karl Freund on The Mummy. This was Freund's debut as a director. He'd emerged as one of the most influential cinematographers of the 1920s and 30s, shooting atmospheric films like Metropolis, The Last Laugh, and Dracula. Freund's expressionistic roots helped make The Mummy one of the moodiest Universal horror films. It did not make Zita Johann a fan. She felt Freund's insecurities over directing his first Hollywood movie made him use her as his scapegoat whenever something didn't go quite right. Johann never absorbed that type of treatment well, and she did what she could to protect herself. She recalled at one point how Freund told her she'd need to appear topless in a scene. She knew he expected her to fight him and say, "The hell I will," but instead she said, "Well, it's all right with me if you can get it past the censors," knowing full well that would never fly. During Johann's brief 3-year Hollywood career, she quickly became known for speaking her mind and standing her ground, perhaps because she knew she'd be fine ditching Hollywood and returning to her life on the stage, which is exactly what she ended up doing. By 1935, Johann was back on Broadway. During World War II, she organized shows for soldiers waiting to ship out. In her later years, she did appear in one low-budget horror film in 1986, but she mostly gave private acting lessons, including working with children with learning difficulties. Coming up, Zita Johann and Edward G. Robinson star in a 1932 melodrama directed by Howard Hawks. Tiger Shark is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, Tiger Shark. Then Body and Soul. And later, The Ascent. Things are looking up on TCM tonight.